Ladies and gentlemen, Miss Jill Pantozzi. So welcome to Pretending to Be on Television.
Thank you. I'm glad to be here.
Yeah, so let's talk about what you do. You are a blogger.
I am.
There's
I'm
some older
comic
folks.
book blogger / journalist.
There's some older folks in the crowd if you want to explain what a blogger does.
Yeah, no, basically I write on the internet about things. And that is what a blogger is. No, honestly, it's, it's I write about whatever I love, which happens to be comic books and video games and all
Because
kinds of
those things
fun
are great.
pop culture things, I have to say before we continue, I'm fangirling out a little bit here over Eric because I had no idea he was the Halo guy.
I fangirl out over Eric all the time.
I'm so serious. No, we had that story come up in our readers during work, and I didn't actually read it. I was just like, oh, that's awesome, and I had no idea that I knew the guy.
Yeah, and you talked about what a blog is. I just wanted to point out. I don't know if you read the Express Times. There was an article about you and I in the newspaper, and what a newspaper is, it's very similar to a blog, but they print it out and they bring it to people's house.
Right to your house?
It's amazing.
My God.
So I have a copy of it for you because I know people like pieces of paper with their name on them.
My parents will love this because I told my mom that it was online, and she kind of made a sad face. Well, so I'm glad I have the hard copy now for you.
She'll be so proud. That's what I shoot for. I pretend to be on television. So you write for a few sites. I know yours. You do a weekly column at Newsarama?
I do a weekly column at Newsarama called Hey, That's My Cape, where I basically talk about anything going on in the comic world, that week or whatever I'm reading, that kind of thing. And then I have my own blog, which is called Has Boobs Reads Comics.
And both of those things are true, I
yes,
believe, right?
They are true, as far as I know. And yeah, that's at thenerdybird.com, and the Nerdy Bird is sort of the name I go by online. That's what I am on Twitter, and most people know me by that name rather than Jill. So it's when I see people at conventions and stuff, they just sort of Nerdy Bird,
I see you at conventions sometimes, and you usually look confused when I call you Jill. Is that why?
It might be because I'm just so used to the entire weekend hearing people say Nerdy Bird. Yeah.
Right. I've never seen you dressed as Master Chief, but you do tend to go in costume.
I do. It's I don't know how many of you are familiar, but it's a thing called cosplay at conventions and other things where you dress up as comic book characters, video game characters, and I've been doing that for a few years now. It's a huge subculture. I'm pretty good at it, and people are pretty amazed by the things I put together. But I mean, there's some people out there that are just absolutely professionals. Didn't even go to school for fashion or anything like that, but can recreate a costume that you think is impossible to actually wear because you look on a page in a comic book and you're like, no, that gravity, no. But no, it actually, people can do it.
So this is called cosplay, you say? I'm not a comic book guy. That is entirely different than what I would have figured cosplay to be. I would have guessed to be wearing sweaters and eating Jell-O pudding pops.
Maybe that's what you can go as at the next convention, Pat Chance.
All right, that sounds like a deal.
You can be Bill Cosby.
No, you know what? People do stuff like that all the time, and those are the best ones you see, and you look and you're like, oh my God, that guy's dressed as so and so. Those are the best.
I do go to comic book conventions, and late in last year or so, when I go, people assume that I'm dressed as the 11th Doctor because I have a bow tie. And they just think it's very lazy because that's the only thing I have of the outfit.
No fez, no sonic screwdriver.
Right.
Yeah.
I have one. I just don't carry it around. I'm a big dork.
Well, you should then.
Yeah, at one point I did just commit
there.
to it. I went to the first comic book convention where I wore a bow tie, and everyone kept referring to me as the Doctor. And an hour in, I just got tired of telling everybody that I wasn't. And I'm like, that's exactly what I meant.
At the last New York Comic Con a couple months ago, I got a whole group together, and we actually dressed as, it was all girls, we dressed as all the doctors, but as females. Nice. So we had these cool, tailored outfits and everything. Nobody has, I mean, a few people have done the female 11th Doctor.
Right,
10th Doctor.
I've seen girls in bow ties.
But we had all of them. And the funny thing is that, there's a lot of people that love Doctor Who, but a lot of the people are just in for the modern era, you know, and they don't even know the old classic Doctors.
Right, they wouldn't recognize
you know, and so some of the poor girls that were dressed as the older Doctors, they felt so terrible. They're like, nobody knows who I am.
Yeah, not a lot of John Pertwee fans at New York Comic Con this year.
Or in
sad.
the audience.
Apparently.
Doctor Who is a TV program.
It's been on for like 50 years.
Right, it is. It's I think next year's the 50th anniversary.
Yeah, 50. Yeah, coming up.
So do you have anything specific coming up that you would like to plug? Any big stories?
What's going on lately?
Well, I know you. I saw on your site the rumor about The Dark Knight Rises featuring Barbara Gordon.
Yes,
which
okay.
I know that's probably your favorite character. You talk about her a lot.
Well, okay, so Batman is my favorite character, just
because he's the best.
Because he's Batman. But Batgirl, just to explain a little bit, Barbara Gordon, Commissioner Gordon's daughter, niece, depending on what you're reading.
Right.
She was Batgirl for a while, and then the Joker shot her, and she was paralyzed from the waist down, so she was in a wheelchair. She's got red hair. Right. So, I love her. And DC Comics now did this big relaunch, the new 52.
They started everything, all the big titles over at
everyone's
once.
Fresh, a little bit younger, just trying to get new readers in for people who say, oh, these comics have been there for 75 years. I can't read that,
How's that working, though? Has anybody picked up any of the new DC books? So next time you talk to somebody at DC, just let them know.
I will let them know, yeah. No, so in the relaunch, they decided, most people know Barbara Gordon as Batgirl instead of in the wheelchair, she's Oracle. So they've taken her back, and she's Batgirl now. It was a big deal, And anyway, so love her. There was a rumor going around a little while that the new movie with Christian Bale and Christopher Nolan, someone took a picture, supposedly, on set of a trailer that had the name E. Page on there, and then under in quotation marks B. Gordon. Now, Ellen Page, of course, has been in movies with Christopher Nolan before,
and Nolan likes to reuse people.
Exactly, he's got people in the movie now. So people started freaking out, and I'm like, I don't care who it is, as long as Barbara Gordon is in this movie in some way.
And has it been confirmed?
Cool.
Or is
it has not been. No, some other rumor site said that they talked to people on set, so whatever. But they said that she was not there. That was not even the trailers they were using. So who knows? But I'm still crossing my fingers that Joseph Gordon-Levitt is going to pull a little. No.
I'm really excited for the movie, but I got to tell you, if Joseph Gordon-Levitt puts on the Batgirl suit, I'm there. I was already going to go.
Yeah,
I'll watch it 3 times in a row.
That would be really interesting.
That would be one of the weirdest things that could possibly...
Nolan, he likes to sometimes pull a little switcheroo, with Ra's al Ghul in the first film.
It's true.
So I'm holding out hope that Joseph Gordon-Levitt is going to turn out to be Nightwing, who previously was Robin.
Right. I'm still really hoping for Batgirl.
It would... If he wears heels, I will be down for that. Because they always put the girl superheroes in heels, and it makes absolutely no sense because you are not going to catch a criminal in stilettos.
And another
I run 100-yard dashes in high heels all the time.
I would like to see this.
That. We'll make that happen after the show.
I saw another picture on your site. It was all the male Avengers posing like female comic characters do.
Yeah.
Because they don't... Female comic characters tend not to stand in ways that are possible.
Right.
Like you
like
can't
their
stand...
butt is facing front and their chest, which is just a little back-breaking,
You haven't shot a Dune cat picture. That's comparable.
Right. Pat Jansen took a couple weird stances.
That should be your next series, all like impossible comic book covers.
I'm going to make a note of that. That's actually...
Totally.
We will dress Pat Jansen up as female comic book characters.
Oh, stepdad.
I have a few costumes he can borrow.
I like where this is going. So we're gonna go take a little break. We're gonna make sure everybody gets a chance to go out, hit the bar before they close.
Yes.
So thanks for coming on, Jill. Thank you for pretending to be on television.
I am so happy I could come.
So, ladies and gentlemen, Jill Pantozzi.